Dogen's verses for the past few days. In the first class, we talked about one of the verse, which is about the mind, and this is an extension of the same verse. So that's what we're going to see today. When we looked at some of the other verses, and this particular verse is very important in a sense. This verse is given to a monk. As you know, Zen masters teach both to people like us and also to people who are practitioners, like monks. Their full-time job is to meditate. So therefore, this verse contains some of the highest knowledge and the essence of Buddha's teaching in this verse. Let's take a look at this verse and then try to understand the meaning behind this. Okay. It says, no mind, no Buddha. Difficult to explain, but easy to practice. No mind, no Buddha. Difficult to explain, but easy to practice. Let's try to understand this verse. For the sake of simplicity, what is meant by Buddha here? It is not referring to a person. As soon as we hear this term Buddha, we always think a person. It is not a person. Here, Buddha simply means someone who has awakened from the dream of existence. To simply put, this is someone who has awakened himself from the dream. So here, Buddha means that. No mind, no Buddha. So let's keep that in mind and try to understand this a little bit. No mind, no Buddha. Difficult to explain, but easy to practice. We have to remember this is given to a monk. The beauty of this verse is telling us that when we go and sit in meditation, we always start with an expectation. In our first class, we talked about this to a large extent. Whenever we sit for meditation, our aim is always to get something out of it. Let's say I am stressed out today. I had a bad day at work. I wanted to meditate. So why do you meditate? I wanted to meditate because I want to bring down my stress level. Right? We do that all the time. Sometimes you had a very emotional day. You had some maybe a heated discussion with your spouse or with your children, and now you are a little bit upset. You are very emotional. There is lots of things going on in your mind, and now you want to meditate. Why do you want to meditate? This emotional turmoil, which you cannot handle. So now you want to find some peace. You want to have some calmness. You want all these things which are being agitated in your mind. You want them to settle down and you want to get some peace. So therefore, we sit and meditate. Many of us do that. And is that not an expectation? I'm asking you to think. When we sit for meditation, we sit with some expectations all the time. These are for people like us. I want to meditate because I want to get some peace. I want to meditate because I want to feel relaxed. I want to meditate because I want to bring down my stress. I want to meditate because I want to have a better health or better sleep. We come to meditation with all these expectations. And if you compare this with the monks who are meditating, many of the monks took up this path because they wanted to become like Gautama Buddha. They want to get enlightened. So when these people are going to sit and meditate with the expectation that I want to become a Buddha. Again, Buddha means not a person, an enlightened state of mind. When a monk is going to sit and meditate with this expectation, do you think this is going to lead to enlightenment? So that's what Master Dogen is trying to address. He says, do not come to meditation and do not meditate with the desire. Because as we all know, desire is the root cause of all the problems we face in life. All our attachment. These attachments lead us to suffering. So now, when you sit with a desire to get enlightened, the very conception of having a desire while meditating doesn't go well. So therefore, Master Dogen says to his disciples as well as to us that when you meditate, do not sit with an expectation. So therefore, when we practice his style of meditation, we don't want to practice something. We don't want to do something in this kind of meditation. We simply sit. As soon as you put in this desire in your mind, you are going to look forward to that. Let me give an example. Let's say you want to get some relief from your stress. You had a bad day at work or too much of work and you had to sit in traffic. And now today you're back at home and you want to spend next 15 minutes to meditate. And you are sitting with the expectation, with the desire that I want to bring down my stress level. Now you start meditating. Remember, you have this desire in your mind. I want to get some relief from my stress. You go through this meditation after 15 minutes, and then you end the meditation, you get up from meditation, and then you think, I'm not getting any relaxation. I think this meditation is not working, right? Whatever practice you were doing during that time. So now at the end of the meditation, you're going to feel more miserable than when you started the meditation, because you started with an expectation. You wanted to get relaxed. You want to move over from your stress. So this is exactly what Master Dogen is asking us not to do. When you sit for meditation, do not have any expectation. People teach meditation just to get relaxed, get out of stress. That's what is very popular these days. But getting some relaxation or going out of stress and having good health and having the ability to have a good night's sleep, these are just byproducts of meditation. You don't do meditation just for them, for those benefits. We want to sit and meditate because we wanted to see our real nature. You want to have some understanding of the real nature of life. You want to know what is the meaning of my existence. Why I'm going through all these things. Can I come out of all these suffering? So that's why we sit and meditate. This is not expectation. If we say, I want to get out of suffering, that can become a desire. And of course, this is an expectation. So these are the expectations which Master Dogen is asking us to get over it. So therefore, when you meditate, don't sit with any expectation, but rather sit there and be with the, try to do what you can to get the awareness during that time. So that's what he is giving as an advice to his disciple. Let's read this one more time. No mind, no Buddha. Difficult to explain, but easy to practice. This is easy to practice for monks, and we can also practice this. If I look at this phrase one more time, no mind, no Buddha. The way we can understand this is very easy, and it has a profound meaning behind this. When you want to attain this state of enlightenment, when you start doing this meditation and many of these practices, what we call as different things to make our mind purified. You do so many things to become more purified. You do all this meditation and then attain something. But if you think about it, when you go to the state of no mind, we all know mind is the root cause of our identity and how we perceive the world. The mind contains all our thoughts, ideas, concepts, and our emotions. And now, what happens when this mind goes away? I'm asking you to think. What happens when you attain to the state of no mind? There is no Buddha. There is no desire for you to get enlightened, because that desire to get enlightened itself is part of your mind. So therefore these expectations arise in us. Because there is this mind, the mind tells us, I want to get enlightened. I want to do all these practices. I want to do more meditation. I want to attend all these retreats. I want to do more penance-like practices. I want to abstain from eating a few days. You do all this because your mind thinks, when I do all this, I can go to a state of enlightenment. So again, the mind, in a way, it is asking you to go in that direction. You may say, this is something far better than asking for a little bit more riches or a little bit more betterment of my health. Yes, it may sounds like this is something you need to aspire for, but Master Dogen says that is not going to help you in the path of enlightenment. So when you take away this mind, the mind which desires for this enlightenment, and you throw it away, there is no desire for you to get enlightened. That is what here it means as no Buddha. There is no enlightenment. There is no enlightenment needed. The desire to get enlightened is no more there. That's what Buddha here means. So no mind, no Buddha. Yes, this is difficult to explain to some extent. Unless you understand what is this mind, unless you have the ability to look at this mind as it is, and then you have the understanding of what is Buddha is all about, is very difficult to understand intellectually, and then easy to practice. Why this is easy to practice? So when I sit here, close my eyes, and start meditating, the things that are going to come up are part of my mind, right? So everything is there in your mind. And when you just look at that mind, what's going on, it just goes away. Because you are the one who is giving an identity and existence to your mind. The mind lives not by itself, just by our own, we generate this mind. So as soon as you look at this mind, it just disappears. Just like the cloud example we saw yesterday. Just like the clouds, when the conditions are right, a cloud is going to form. And then when the conditions are again right, it's going to disintegrate. So this is the nature of things. In the same way, the mind is getting generated, and the mind is existing because of our desire to give it an identity. As soon as you just pull out that support which is given by you, now there is no mind. With no mind, there is no desire either to get enlightened, because there is no need. And when the mind is all gone, you don't have to look for being relaxed and peace and happy, all those benefits which we talk about in meditation. All of them are there. So suddenly, when you meditate this way, at the end of the meditation, you don't need anything. You don't look for anything from outside, because you know within yourself, you have everything inside you. All you have to do is just close your eyes and sit and look for it. And then it's all there. You don't have to do anything. So now when you open your eyes and go ahead and do your things which are required in your life, you're going to enjoy them more because you understand the greatest meaning of life, and you know how the life works, and you know how to make the best use of it. So that is the beautiful meaning Master Dogen is giving us in this verse.